I want to jump on and chat about reframing your wording, your mindset, and even when you're spiraling, learning to catch yourself in the moment and also like reframe it into positioning it differently and allowing yourself to be honest with yourself without judgment, without shaming yourself. And this is the whole concept I am really wanting to bring to life and bring to awareness of how, without even realizing, we will be shrinking ourselves and justifying things. And the fact of bringing awareness and being honest with yourself and being like, oh, do I really believe that? Do I really think that? Mm, is that my voice or is that someone else's that I've taken on? And understanding where it's coming from instead of like, say you're spiraling, someone said something, something has happened, and usually you would spiral all day. Reframing and also being honest with yourself, okay, with what has just happened or what someone has just said, is this something I have taken on, or is it something I actually believe? Or is it someone else's voice that I am listening to that I actually don't believe? Like, do I honestly believe this? And it's not about never spiraling or the self doubt disappearing. It's about bringing awareness and observing what is going on in the moment. And you can reframe yourself very quickly once you become honest with yourself. A lot of people that come into readings with me, they're like, I was really scared because I am ashamed, or I feel like, what are you going to come through with? What are you going to feel, see, hear? And that scares me. And this is where we come into the observant. Like, what are you carrying around that is sort of like a fracture in your identity? What are you carrying around that maybe isn't what you believe? What do you actually believe? And what I do is becoming more understanding of yourself, your journey, what you believe, what you may be struggling with, and also being able to reframe it and not shrink yourself. And because I know what this is like, I have been through this where I shrank myself, I didn't want to be seen, I judged myself for feeling my emotions, for being too sensitive, for being in those group chats and typing out a whole thing or a sentence and then backspacing it and never sending it because of being worried how you'd be perceived. When you come into my spaces, I am so like, there is no judgment, there is no shame. There might be things that come up and you're like, wow, that really hits home. But I never come from a place of, you're doing this. No, no. We observe, we feel, we ask, like, how does that feel in your body? How are you feeling? Where has this come from that you have been carrying it for so long? Or where has this thought come from? There is never judgment, there is never shame in my spaces because I know what it's like to be in spaces and feel like, oh, but I wanted to create spaces and my readings to be coming from a space of, let's walk through this together. Let's see you. Let's understand you. And that's also why I came up with the blueprint, because a lot of people question, like, What's my purpose? What's who is me? What do I love? What do I believe? And the thing is, we gauge an understanding on your blueprint and the patterns and the loops and the soul contracts that you come into this life with. It's not an excuse, it's not a way of like, oh, this is just my patterns, this is what I've come in my life. No, it's an observation. And it's also like, how can we break through these patterns? How can we break through these loops that I may be carrying from other lifetimes or from other journeys that I have been on, or the challenges or the curveballs that I have been through? And we walk through them together, hand in hand, and there is no judgment, there is no shame. And if those emotions arise in you, we walk through that together and we gauge an understanding or observate the understanding or the emotion or where this might be sitting in your body, and you're holding on to it because it's so important to not push these emotions away and not, because they've become like a snowball and they build up, and that's why a lot of people explode or they become very angry or they hold things and they wonder why they're snapping, or they're trying to hold so many different plates and so many different hats, and it becomes so much and it just builds up and up and up. And this is something we move through, we shift, we understand, okay, why are we holding this? Where in life have we maybe thought we've had to have it all together? We've had to be the independent one. We can't ask for help. We have to always prove ourselves. We always have to justify ourselves. And reframing, where is that coming from? Where in my body is this sitting? Where am I holding this? And also, body scanning is amazing. I'm going to be releasing a video today about body scanning, but not coming at ourselves, like, because then we're going to automatically put a wall up, and we're going to want to go in protection mode. You know, the shoulders come forward and we start to not walk into rooms feeling confident, because now we're feeling, I have to protect myself, I have to bottle this all up. And I just want to come at a place of, let's observe this. Where does it feel in your body? Where can you feel it? What does it feel like? If it was an object, what would it look like? If it was a shape, what would it look like? And we're not shaming, we're not coming at it as an attack. We're observing it in a way of, we don't have to put the walls up, we don't have to protect, we don't have to feel ashamed. But if those emotions do come up, let's observe them. What do they feel like? How do they feel? Where are they coming from? Are they from maybe people's perspective or opinions, or are they coming from an emotion within you? Like, I've got to have it all together, I've got to have everything, I've got to have the perfect life, and just allowing ourselves to reframe in a way that we don't come at it in judgment, we come at it in observation, awareness. A huge thing is observing, bringing awareness, and then we can sort of like debunk. Okay, this is where it's coming from. Oh, okay, it's not about making those self-doubts disappear. It's about bringing awareness, observing them. And it becomes less like I have to protect myself. It becomes more like, okay, I've got this. I could be spiraling. And then next minute be like, what's going on here? Where are we feeling this? Allowing ourselves to observe and then being like, oh, and then we can move through it, we can process it. There's a big thing of like when we stack things on top of each other, it's because we're not processing it. We're not allowing ourselves to observe, aware, bring awareness to it. We're automatically protecting ourselves of like, oof, putting that wall up. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, was reframing on how we're looking at things. How we are we coming in with the attack, or are we coming in with, okay, where are we today? This is huge things I do in my spaces, and I never want people to think it's about making those self-doubts disappear, because that's unrealistic. We need to normalize feelings. We need to normalize understanding ourselves and reframing things in a way that we're not attacking ourselves, and we don't have to go walls up protection mode. We can come at it in a way of love, compassion, awareness, and understanding, instead of shame, shame, shame. That's not what this is about. And that, I think we need to normalize that that's what we have been taught, and that's where I want to reframe people doing. Like we don't need to shame ourselves. We don't need to bring judgment. But if they arise, like they're a feeling, and yeah, that's just what I want to talk about today. That reframing is important, and it's not about never spiraling. It's about reframing and understanding where it's coming from. If it's your opinion, or is it someone else's that you have taken on? Anyway, have the best day. I'm going to keep walking to work and go spend some time with my family after work. But if you have any questions or any reflections on what we have just talked about, my DMs are open, and never feel like you have to come in my spaces feeling shame or feeling scared, because readings are, sometimes they are a bit like, oh wow. I've had so many people say, I don't know how you knew that. It's like you knew me. Like, and it's so beautiful, because like a lot of people do say that, and they say it's like you know me, and I'm like, yeah, well, that is why I'm an energy reader, because I understand your energy. I can read it. I can understand what's going on in your body, and some people find that really nerve-wracking, and that's totally fine. But there is a big understanding, and we just observe and understand where you're coming from and what you're moving through, the seasons that you're going through, and go from there. And I will also give you activities and movements or personalized a meditation specialized to you and your season that you're moving through currently. So have the best day, and remember, awareness and observing is really important, and that reframing in that moment is really important. Anyway, have the best day and enjoy this nice sunny weather, and let me know what you think and your reflections on this life. See you guys.